Chris Kyle was a murderer who murdered at least 160 people, and his murder career inspired a propaganda film. He gets ready to murder a child, but he is a child, and he goes hunting and goes to church and beats up a fellow child, and his dad wants them to be violent to protect our great American supple women and children people. He goes to a rodeo, but his whore girlfriend fucks a beta male, and then he punches the beta male. He sends them both packing!
I do this to get attention, don't you get that?
So they grab a beer and chill, but the TV tells him to defend his country, so he goes and does it. It's tough being in the military, you know? But then he meets this girl at the bar and totally wants to pick this chick up. But she drinks too much because she knows neither temperance nor discipline. He really doesn't like 9/11, so he murders the child and then he murders the woman as well, and then he murders more people, and he really doesn't like it when this Iraqi Muslim drills a child's head, so he murders more people. He comes back to America, a shell of his former self, and then he goes back to Iraq, and this Iraqi Muslim offers his hospitality, but it's a ruse, and he citizens arrest this terrorist scum like a total badass. He murders some more people and comes back to America, a shell of his former self, and then he goes back to Iraq and heroically saves an American life, and then he murders some more people, and we mourn the American lives tragically lost in this awful war. And then he goes back to Iraq and murders some more people, and he heroically doesn't murder a child. Some conflict happens and he murders more people and goes back to the US, but he's emotionally distant. He almost abuses the dog because he's so used to conflict. It's the only thing he knows. And then he goes to the doctor and explains how he wished he murdered more people. In 2013, Chris Kyle was murdered. Who knows how many more people he would have murdered if he wasn't. God bless our brave Marines who take it upon themselves to remove dangerous people from the streets. This is the most evil movie I have ever seen.